What's up, guys? Big changes to the mortgage industry this week, and I want to share some of that information with you. This week, FHA has announced that they are making some changes to how a loan is underwritten for a borrower who has student debt. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about what it looked like before versus what it looks like now. But do me a favor and stick around to the end, because I want to tie in all of this and talk a little bit about whether or not these changes are a good thing or a bad thing when it comes to the Pennsylvania real estate market in 2021. But before we dive into any of that, a little bit of house cleaning. I'm Chris Nelson with Gemstone Realty, and this channel is all about real estate advice, tips, and tech. So if any of that excites you, you are in the right place. But do me a favor, drop me a comment, hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing, and mash that bell so that you're notified when I post new content. All right, guys, so as I mentioned, major changes in the mortgage industry this week, and it really ties into FHA loans and student debt. So before this week, when a loan officer took an application for an FHA borrower with student debt, they had two options when it came to calculating the debt into the borrower's debt to income. Now, if you're not familiar with what debt to income is, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's the amount of debt you have versus the amount of income or money you make. So when you have student loans, the loan officer or the mortgage company needs to factor in how much money every month you need to pay towards that debt. Now, previously, a loan officer would have two options when it came to qualifying or determining how much money a borrower would pay towards their student loans. And the first option was receiving a full amortization schedule for the loan. Now, what this document is it shows exactly how much debt remains after each payment. And student loans are for 30 years. So this is a pretty lengthy document and a very detailed document that again shows every time the borrower makes a payment, how much does the loan balance come down to. The other option was taking 1% of the student debt and using that as a payment. So for example, if a student had $50,000 in debt, a loan officer would look at that as $500 on a monthly basis towards their student debt. So that $500 payment ultimately brings your buying power down because, well, you have to spend that $500 every month to make good on your promise for your student loans. Well, as of June 2021, FHA has made some announcements that they are changing this guideline, and they have updated the two options. So now the two options that the loan officer would have when it comes to underwriting this loan is they actually can get a document rather than the full schedule. They can take a document that shows what your mortgage payment is. So if you are getting something from your student loans that says you are to pay X amount, and you can confirm that you are paying that exact amount, well, now the lender can go ahead and use that. The other option, which I think is going to be a little bit more exciting and a little bit more attractive, and this is exactly why everyone in the mortgage industry is going crazy right now, is that FHA has said that they are no longer going to use 1% as the rule of thumb. They're going to drop that to 0.5%. So for that same student who would be paying $500 every month to pay back that $50,000 debt that they owe, would now be paying $250. So now that $250 gives the borrower more buying power when it comes to buying a house, which is huge. This is no wonder loan officers everywhere are going crazy, because they now have that many more people that they can help. This actually will take buyers or people who wanted to be buyers who were sitting on the sideline hoping to purchase a home, but maybe couldn't get enough buying power because of those student loans. This is going to move that needle and get a lot of them off of the sidelines and get them into the real estate market. It's also going to take a lot of buyers who are having a hard time and give them a little bit more buying power simply because, well, they now have an extra $250 theoretically in their pocket that they can use towards a mortgage. So this is great news. However, let's talk about how all of that ties into the real estate market in 2021. Now, this entire year, all of my videos have been about how trying of a real estate market this is, especially for buyers. We don't need more buyers right now. If anything, in Pennsylvania in 2021, we need more sellers. We need more homes to offset the lack of housing inventory. We have more buyers in the market now than I've seen in my 19 years of industry, but nowhere near enough homes for those buyers to buy. So right now, these new regulations or changes that we're seeing with FHA, although are great, in my opinion, is poor timing. We are going to see more buyers come into the market when we're not seeing more homes come into the market. So the pendulum or the scales just don't balance out. Now, here's my piece of encouragement or word of advice for you FHA buyers who do have student debt where these new regulations are going to impact you. Do not increase the sale price or the purchase price in which you're currently targeting. If you're looking for a $300,000 home and now this change allows you to afford a $350,000 home, well, keep your search the same. Keep looking for that $300,000 property and use this additional bit of buying power to make you that much stronger. Keep your offer at $300,000 and maybe offer the seller something that's a little bit more attractive. And by attractive, I mean more money. But hopefully you have a good realtor who's also helping you understand the comps, because if you are taking out an FHA loan, you are still subject to an appraisal that needs to either meet or exceed the sale price. So FHA, at the end of the day, this is phenomenal news, and maybe when we return to a normal market, we will see the benefit of these changes. But I don't think it's going to be beneficial in 2021 because we don't have enough houses for these buyers. So with all of that being said, hopefully you found some value to this video. Do me a favor, let me know, am I missing something? Am I looking at this wrong? Loan officers, let me know. What am I missing? What are your thoughts on these changes to FHA when it comes to student loans and how these loans are calculated? With all of that being said, I'm Chris Nelson with Gemstone Realty. Check in next week for the very next Just the Tip Tuesday with Chris. Until then, take care.